Let's talk about how babies start to communicate. What are the first signs that they're trying to communicate with you?
Of course, they start with nonverbal communication, such as crying at the age of 0 to 3 months. They start crying differently when they want to eat, when they want to sleep, when they're in pain. Moms can differentiate between these cries. This is real. Moving forward to 4 to 6 months, they start following you with their eyes. They start pointing at things. These are all forms of communication. They start imitating verbally and gestures.
Can you mention a few and maybe how they're done? How you could support your baby through these different techniques like imitating and...
For example, if you want to develop eye gaze, it means that your baby is following an object or is following a person when it's moving. So you can get a toy that makes loud noises and lights, and you just move it from one side to another. Or even without a toy, you can stand on the left and right and move while talking or singing to your baby. Pointing at things, naming things.
So with you as a parent, how can you experiment with tonality to help them develop speech?
The theatrical part should always be there. Sometimes talk in a loud voice, emphasize on things. When you talk in a monotonic way, it's not very attracting to the child, so he might just not be interested and might not look. But if you are saying good morning, you can say good morning and you can say good morning. So this way, you will attract your child's attention and he will listen to you, to see what you're saying, and this way he will learn.
Should you stick to monosyllable words, easier words to start with?
You can start with short words, like one word that the child said, like go. So it's monosyllabic.
Or no.
Yes, or no, definitely. The sounds that takes longer to develop are the r, the l, you know, and usually parents freak out. My child is not saying r, and especially the Arabic or the Spanish, r, the rolled one, r. So if you think of it, it's really, the mechanism is hard. You are vibrating your tongue inside of your mouth. So it takes time to develop.
Interesting you would mention this, that the mechanism is hard, because that's the difference between English and my mother tongues. Although majority of the time it's our mother tongue that's spoken at home, but he just finds English easier.
English is believed to be an easier language than others, compared to others, because first it has less grammatical restrictions, and second of all, the sounds are easy. Even the r sound. In English, the r, it's just you have to put your tongue, the tip of the tongue backwards. But in Arabic, it's r, right?
Yeah.
So it is harder. We have in Arabic the kh, can you imagine?
And at what age should they be, acquiring new words, 5 new words on a daily basis, for example?
Maybe we can start by the age of 1 year and a half. And you should keep also in mind that comprehension is always more developed than expression. So even if your child is not able to produce these words, keep in mind that they are learning them, and at some point they will produce them.
Sometimes they know the words, but you mentioned they might be a little bit, lazy, or they don't find the need to actually express it, but they know the words. So what do you advise mothers to do in this situation?
So imagine if I want water and I can just point at it and you give me the water, I won't say. But I have to create a situation where a child has to produce something so that he gets what he wants. Like, don't make it impossible for them, of course, but create these situations. Put the water bottle on a high shelf. So a child has to come and say water, or I want water. If he's not able to say that, put words in his mouth. What do you want? You want water? This way, you are teaching him in a very natural way to speak, to say what he wants in a verbal way. So don't grant him everything without him doing the effort.
Sometimes children have anxiety, and they might, speak just fine at home, and then when they're in public or in front of other people, maybe they're uncomfortable with the attention, and then they basically don't speak.
We call it selective mutism. So this means that a child talks in one or few settings, and in other settings he chooses not to talk. And it's usually due to high levels of anxiety and shyness. My advice is just don't force children to talk, don't make them uncomfortable, and don't stress on word production. Not wherever you go, just talk or say something. Don't put them under the spotlight. I know parents are always proud to show other people what their child know, but sometimes it's affecting the child. If he knows the body parts, don't put him in front of the whole family. Okay, what is this and what is this? Children might not always feel comfortable doing that.
Yeah. So I just want to hear your thoughts when it comes to stuttering, for example. Is this something related to speech delay or speaking too many languages?
Multilingualism does not cause stuttering. Till the age of 5 years, children might exhibit some kind of disfluency. It might be due to multilingualism because they cannot find the right word at the right time. But that we don't call it stuttering, because stuttering is something inside the child that he cannot get rid of his whole life. It's within a person. So natural disfluency comes and goes. So this is the difference. And usually stuttering, it is accompanied by physical problems, like for example, tension in the neck, wide opening the eyes or the nostrils, tension in the whole face, like that. So usually stutterers exhibit physical tension as well. So you can see it on their face.
Do babies who are not in nursery, for example, maybe develop speech better once they enter the schooling system?
The more he's stimulated and exposed to language, the better. After going to school or nursery and blend with his peers, he will learn through imitation. As we said, he will imitate some words, some sentences, and he will acquire. Definitely, it will help.